Hey everybody, thank you for joining me on my Flannel Whiskers ASMR YouTube channel. The video that I've put together today shows small segments of my creation of this junk journal cover. It is not a tutorial. There are countless videos on YouTube that offer tutorials on how to do covers and how to sew in signatures. This is a very special journal that I will be putting on eBay, and the sale price, 100% of the sale price minus eBay's fees, are going to go to a charity. So what I wanted to do was just demonstrate a little bit of what it took to put the cover together. This is a Rob Thomas themed junk journal. You might recognize his signature phrase. And I'll give you a peek at the inside. Quick peek. I ain't gonna watch the rest of the video to see it done. But seriously, it's been a long time since I made any videos because I've been busy crafting. And I hope that you will just enjoy catching a glimpse of some of the efforts involved in putting this cover together. And it's done ASMR style, so it's meant to be slow paced and relaxing. So if you really are not interested in ASMR elements, you might just want to hit that playback button and speed it along. Thanks everyone, be good to each other. This is a Rob Thomas themed junk journal, and I've created 4 signatures, which are the groups of pages that get bound into the spine. And I just have one sitting out to help me with my measurements. After the journal is complete, I'll post another video that flips through each page of the journal. And then I'll be putting the journal on eBay for sale with 100% of the proceeds, 100% of the sale price, going to an organization in New York called Flatbush Cats. So for the cover, I'm going to be using a couple of these donut box lids from Chuck's Donuts in Renton, Washington. They are the best donuts ever. And you can see it's completely clean. It was just the lid to the donuts, and I rescued it really fast from the office break room. So I'll be using 2 of those to double layer them. And then I'll have a 3rd layer for the cover that uses this box of graham crackers. It's a little bit thicker than the donut box, so I need to cut that down. And for the fabric of the journal, I'm going to be using either this one or this one. I haven't decided yet. Let's decide right now. So here's another tea-dyed paper, a little bit different style. I would say, let's say it has a better match to that. And then if I have a coffee dyed paper in here, I don't have a coffee dyed paper in here, but this is another common page that's in the journal, and it goes good with that one, so I'm going to use this one. For the inside of the cover, I'm going to use this fabric. It has a bunch of musical notes on it. So it's just cotton. So that goes on the inside. Also on the inside, I'm going to use either this pillowcase or this pillowcase edge to make pockets on the inner front cover. I don't know which one yet. We'll get there. And I'm also going to use this on the front cover. It's just vinyl, and it looks, I don't know, it maybe looks a little bit leather, but it probably looks vinyl. I'm not sure, but it's vinyl. It's got a very subtle texture on it. And that's going to go on the front. And on the back, I'm going to use this vinyl. And it has a different texture on it. It's got flowers and leaves. So that'll go on the back. And then the last thing is the closure, which I haven't really decided on. I'm going to start putting it together and see where I'm at with the closure later. So we got to measure and start cutting. So when I have all four of these signatures together, it needs about 3.5 inches of just the spine needs to be 3.5 inches to accommodate them all. As you can see how bulky and busy it is, and I don't want the journal to just be an alligator mouth, so I'm going to make a 3.5 inch spine. So what I want to do with my Chuck's Donuts box is, so make sure that there's enough for the back cover and the front cover, and 3.5 inches in between. So let me start taking the box apart. This will be used on a future project. Okay. The length of the journal pages is 8.5, because I used 8.5 by 11 pages folded in half for this journal. So I want the height of my journal to be 8 3/4. So I'm going to measure 8 3/4 from the top seam where the flap is. I put a marker down here right there. And one more. So the way I'm measuring is I'm starting off to the left, which is off screen. The width of the signature is 5.5 inches. And so I need minimum 5.5 inches for the front, 5.5 inches for the back, which is 11. And then I need 3.5 inches for the spine. So 1, 2, 3.5 goes right there. And then I'm doing just a little bit more right there to account for the folding space. And I need to cut that. So I've got a bunch of tick marks here to tell me where to place my ruler so I can cut. I'm going to use this piece too. I keep all the scraps, and they go in a little pile, which is getting bigger. It's a big pile now. And I just grab them when I need some chipboard. So this is going to be the journal cover, but I have to score the lines for the spine. But first I'm going to cut the other one to make a double layer. And rather than remeasure everything, I'm just going to trace around this one that I've already cut out. Let's put the Chuck's Donuts thing right there. Okay. Hope I'm on top of my mat. Okay, so now I've got two identical chipboard pieces from Chuck's Donuts box. And I need to score where I'm going to put the spine. So I've got my scoreboard. I'm going to tuck this into the corner. And now I want to use the straight edge of my ruler in tandem with the scoring that I just did to create the crease. So that's the first layer. This tape is the strongest double-sided adhesive I've come across. And it's not even crafter's adhesive. It is sold as something to do with golf clubs. I think you put this adhesive on and then it's super sticky. And then you put the golf club tape on top of the sticky. It was recommended by a YouTuber called Posh Paper Lady. She's a paper crafter, so I want to give her a hat tip for introducing me to this adhesive. I learned that trick of tearing instead of cutting because the adhesive makes the scissors get all gummed up. I think that is going to work really well. I'm happy with that. It's still this is still not sturdy enough to be, in my opinion, enough on its own, so I'm going to use the graham cracker box. It's about an inch too short. Okay, well, I'm still going to use this, but I'm going to get another Chuck's Donut box lid. Again with the tracing. That actually looks pretty good. It's a lot more sturdy now with the third one. I think I'm going to have to cut the cardboard pieces into their different sections because it's moving too much from the bend. Okay, so now what I have is a double thickness of spine, and I'm going to tape corner to corner the pieces that I just cut off so that the flex is at this seam. Hopefully that makes sense. So that the place where there's give, where there needs to be some give and take, is at this seam right here. But this piece doesn't need to move, and this piece doesn't need to move. This. I mean, it doesn't have to be precise. Which one's straighter? This one's straighter. More straight, not straighter, more straight. But it's too long. you guys. Gonna go like that. There. So now we have a spine that isn't making the edges extend out. No, it's going down now. This is so much better. Now the corners are lining up better. That was just my own mistake right there. And I'm not having any issues with the folding and straightening. But I do need to add the third layer because it's just not straight enough for me. More piece of spine. I'm just going to do one adhesive strip down the middle. Okay, so we've got 3 layers for the front cover, 3 layers for the spine, and 3 layers for the back cover. And I don't want to put any tape on the outside because I think that might mess up the crease and the way these things move. Will it? Yeah. But I do want to add some reinforcement right here on these seams so that it's just not relying on one piece of cardboard to sustain the opening and closing. So I'm going to use this framer's tape. It's a really strong adhesive, and it's not double-sided adhesive, it's single-sided adhesive, and the part that isn't adhesive is actually quite strong. So I think it will add good reinforcement to the seams. Or to the creases. I'll just cut off the tips. Is very, very sticky. It's a really great adhesive. When you buy, it's called framer's tape because when you buy really nice artwork and that brown paper is covering the art, it's usually got this tape on it. It's super sticky to my fingers now. So let's see how that holds my signatures. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I might do a little bit of alligator mouth, but I'm hoping that when I sew these in, the tension of the string, sewing them in, will tighten it up a bit. I feel really good about the reinforcement there of the crease on that piece of cardboard. Okay, so now it's time to put on the fabric cover. So this is just like a, probably, I think this is like a microfiber. Feels kind of like microfiber. I don't know, I got it at the thrift store. And it didn't come with any washing instructions or any of that. When I washed it, after buying it at the thrift store, I just hung it up to dry. Not like you're going to be washing the junk journal, but I'm just saying I don't know what kind of fabric it is. It's oddly shaped, which when you're going to buy something at the thrift store, you get what you get. I'm just happy I can repurpose something from the thrift store. It's really convenient that there's a crease over on the fabric that tells me where to, that's where I want to cut it anyways. That's nice. I know I'm off camera. I don't have a fancy setup. Fancy setup, and I don't have a big table. It's actually a very small table that I'm working on right now. Okay, I think I want to cut with that kind of a margin. Is that what you call it? I'm not sure. I'm gonna scrappity scrap. I think I want it to come down this far, and I want it to go in this much, so I have to cut off some more down at the bottom. Pull that taut. Another scrap. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up gluing this fabric to the edges, and I need to miter these corners so that the fabric doesn't get all bunched up. But I want to make sure this stays put. So I think I want to, I want to start off gluing the center, and then if I glue the center, this will come out a little bit, enough for me to miter the corner. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue the center. This time I am going to use Fabri-Tac, because I think it is stronger than that adhesive, the golf club adhesive. And I really do need this to stay put. Is that dried? It's dried. I thought it was coming out already. Super shiny. That goes right there. Okay, so Fabri-Tac is awesome because it bonds fabric to paper and fabric to fabric and paper to paper. And it like I mentioned, it gives you some time to sort out your positioning, but it can be messy. So I need you, Fabri-Tac. Paste on the clip. Kind of tell it to. I mean it. That's where I want you to go. Stay. Okay, then we'll do this one. I'm gonna go up to the edge of the Fabri-Tac this time. I should have done that before. Edge. Just enough to like tack it down. Okay, you be there. And put a clip on it. Stay there. Okay. So then I'm going to come over here. Let's do more clips. I should have thought of that before the glue. That took quite a bit of time, so I had to turn the camera off. And not like you want to sit here and watch me glue and glue and glue a bunch. Glue and cut and push. So it's tacked down really well. The Fabri-Tac is, it really is a very strong adhesive. And I only used the glue on the inside of the cover. There is no glue that glues there's no glue that glues the fabric to the cardboard inside on the spine or on the front cover or on the back cover. It's all only glued inside. So I think that looks really nice so far. We still have a lot of work to do on it. I'm glad that it's a microfiber because it has some give to it, which is good. The next phase is to put the inside cover in, which is where we're going to be using the purple music note fabric, this fabric, and the graham cracker box. So we're going to cut some graham cracker box to fit inside of here, and the spine and the front cover. And the fact that it is not as tall as the cover is perfect because I want there to be a margin around the panel that goes in here. So that worked out really well. So that goes to the edge. It'll go to the edge. fairly even around there. Let me double check this one too. There. Move it in a little bit. Okay, perfect. And then I'll need this one's not straight. Yeah, I wondered if I'd moved a little bit. Okay. And then you need another spine piece. If I put a graham cracker layer right there, it's going to be kind of hard to get that needle through the graham cracker and the 3 layers of chipboard. I think sometimes junk journalists, they don't even do anything with the spine because the pages are going to cover a lot of it. But I'm going to, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? I'm thinking like, could I just not have cardboard here and drag the fabric across the 2 panels? I just like do like that. Maybe. I think I'm going to try that. Okay, let's make this straight. I'm going to draw a line that I can cut on this fabric. See if it's warm enough to iron. There we go. Since this is a video that appeals to crafters and Rob Thomas and ASMR people, I'm leaving the ironing sounds in here because I think sometimes the people like that sound on the ASMR videos. We're going to use that again in a little bit when I have to fold it over. It's warm. My hands are cold. It feels nice. Get rid of this stray thing. I just thought of snowstorm crafts. She keeps that stuff. have an occasion to keep it. But I know that she did. She's got a little bowl. She's got a little bowl of little fabrics like that, or strings. Okay. So I believe this has ample length. Yeah, it has ample length for me to fold over as much as this. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to fold the length, or iron the length of it. In preparation for the spine not having a piece of cardboard. And same with the top. That wasn't straight. Jennifer. Yeah, I went off course. Mitering isn't going to be as difficult with this one because it's not as thick as the microfiber. I am going to iron it though because it will help me figure out where to cut it. How's that? That looks good. I think I want to secure that down and then pull this one taut. The one on the side. Yeah. Let's do that. that one too. Other people, when they use their Fabri-Tac, they don't struggle at all to make it ooze out. I feel like I have to press on it like crazy. It's not crazy glue. Okay. And now I will really focus on the corners of this. Put it up there. Come on, glue. It's like it volcanoes out when you don't want it to, and then when you want it, it's kind of slow. Okay, so I've got my corners good, so I can just get the straight edge in line. And it doesn't need to be precise since this is going to face the inside of the book. It's going to face the inside of the cover. Know what I'm saying? Okay. So if I go like this and line up the edge with right there, then this is gonna just, for the spine, it's just gonna go across. Yeah, see, I went, of course, with the iron. That's okay, I'll just re-iron. That's gonna go there, which means I need to cut off this, probably from here. And then I don't want honey graham cracker box showing through the purple fabric. Okay. Oh shoot. Let's do there. Stay right there. and this goes further in. Further in. A little bit further in. I think I need to glue this edge first because I'm not sure that this is the straight that it needs to be. I think I went off course. I need to make sure this is straight. The right edge is on course. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, let's glue it. So while I was giving the camera a little respite, I was trying to decide between this edging and this edging for the inside pockets. And as much as I love this, it's like shiny and beautiful. I just didn't feel like the scallops were strong enough, like stiff enough to be ideal for a pocket. So I went with this pillowcase edging instead. And so now I'm working on I already put this one down for the back cover. Now I'm going to cut another piece for the front cover. And this one needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. I don't know what they're called. Scallops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to cut from here. And it was just actually shy, but I'm going to do it all the way and shave off some if I need to. Because if I don't go all the way, then I have to straighten out the line. It might not be as wide of a pocket. Okay, so I'm holding back the scallops while I cut here. Okay, so I do need to trim off a little bit more. This one doesn't look as straight, so I'm going to trim this one and try to straighten it out while I trim it. Give it a straight trim. I like how it can peek over the pink edge. Oh, I want this to be... Oh, that's not straight. It's going like that. Everything strays off course here tonight. Okay. that is on the very edge, right there. Will it close properly? No, it's still too wide. Very edge. Okay, I'm just gonna shade this a tiny bit because it's got like a little divot right there. And the top part could be a little bit, just like literally that much. I think that's perfect. Okay. Glue that down. Spider webs on my Fabri-Tac. Right along the edge to give as much room in the pocket as possible. Okay. Lining on the very edge along the bottom and there. Oops. Bring it up a little bit. Looks like I've got to bring it up quite a bit. Okay. So we've got our inside of the cover. Pretty much, yeah, it's pretty good. I like that a lot. Signatures going in. The lace really does complement the inside page there and other lacy elements. I'm so excited for this book. I'm about to take a break from this for today. Okay, so we're going to let things dry and settle, take a break, and finish the cover tomorrow, which will be in about 3 seconds for you. The lighting might change and stuff like that, so that's why. Okay, so my journal cover has been glued and has been drying overnight, and the pockets are fantastic. I love these lacy pockets. The Fabri-Tac is very strong. Just a compliment to the makers of Fabri-Tac. So the next stage is that I need to put a cover on the front. I haven't decided about the spine, and then a cover on the back. And I'm going to be using the vinyl fabric, and I'm going to, it's a little bit big right now. So anyways, I'm going to cut this so that it leaves a little bit of a border on either side of it so that you could see the tan microfiber that we used. So let me just figure that out. It's right about there. That'll be a fun scrap to use. That looks really good. Okay. Now this is the front cover. And the back cover is going to be made with this pattern. And these are all the same pattern, but I wasn't sure which page would be, or which option would be already similar to the size that I need. I think that one's big. This one's big. This one looks pretty, like a good size. So let's cut that. Yeah, I think that's good. And trim these corners too, just to soften them up just slightly. Okay. Got some beautiful scraps right there. The spine, I think I want to cut another piece of the pillowcase because this just happens to be the perfect width for the spine, the pillowcase trim. And I think it would give good continuity for the pockets on the inside. I'm just I'm not sure that they meld together well, but there's all kinds of lace in the journal, so it shouldn't be like what's the word, contradictory. So I'm pretty sure I am going to do that. I'll think about it some more while I do the iron on for this. So I have cut out a phrase from this vinyl in gold. So before I cut the letters out of the vinyl, I printed the letters on a piece of vellum to make sure I could line it up right. So the letters, the phrase is Rob's be good to each other. I didn't know it would come so close. That's kind of too close for comfort a little bit. But I think it, like, I just shouldn't worry so much. I just get worried. But I actually think this is going to look fantastic. So I'm going to start weeding the vinyl and stand by. I'm including this in my video because if you're not a junk journal enthusiast or Rob Thomas fan, and you're only here for the ASMR, this part's for you. Because I love this sound. Be really careful to cut through just the vinyl and not the backing sheet, because you need all your letters to stay in their place. And it's really helpful to just cut it here and there to remove it in sections. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not super meticulous about it's centered, right? Like, is this 3/8 of an inch closer to the edge than this one? I don't know. It looks good to me. I'm looking specifically down here. The space between the farthest part of the O and the space between the farthest part of the R. They look the same to me. It might be, maybe should come down a little bit. Okay, I think that looks good. Oh, that's gonna look great. Very excited. So there's a certain type of rug called a chindi rug, and what it is it's scraps of fabric that are like this, and then they're stacked, next to each other, and then sewn together with a thread. And there's a shop called Five Below, which we don't have in the state where I'm at. We don't have Five Below. But I traded hobby supplies with another junk journalist who has Five Below, and she went and bought one of the chindi rugs, and took it apart for me. And it came with, so out of the rug came dozens of these fabric scraps. And the rug was only $5. And like the quantity of fabric that came out of that rug was amazing. Oh, this might be great. My only challenge is that because I'm selling this journal, the closure, if I put it under here, that's permanent. And not everybody is fond of, scrappy looking stuff. So, because it's all scrappy looking stuff, and that's what I envisioned for this journal, I think I'm not going to make it a permanent. I'm not going to make it permanent for the journal because I'm afraid somebody just will not like that particular part. And I can still include it if it fits and it goes well. I can still say, here, just wrap it around the front and not worry about it going through. This might not even be long enough anyways. Let's see. I really like this specific one. Trying really hard to pull it through. This bundle that you're looking at right now is about 1/10 of what came out of that rug. Maybe even, it might not even be a 10th. A lot came out of that rug. Okay, let's see. I really like this one. If this has all the signatures in it. This. Oh yeah, that works. That wraps around great. There's enough room here to just tie it closed. So and then if somebody doesn't like it, you know what, maybe I'll send a couple different options that they can use. So yeah, I'm not gonna put that under the interfacing. So this is when I bought this on Amazon, you had to buy a roll of it, and it became unruly like the moment it came out of its bag. It was just like good luck ever making sense out of it again. And I would like to have things be cut in straight lines somewhat, and then folded back together in a sensible way. But with this stuff, forget about it. You just cut it where you can and shove the rest back in the bag. So there's a piece for the front. For the back. I'm gonna have to cut it smaller, but I just didn't want to undercut it. And I'm gonna cut a piece for the spine, for the pillowcase edge. Okay. I'll make sure that I am doing the back on the back. That one's the spine. I don't know what it looks like if it peeks out. Okay, make sure that's, again, that's the back. Right side up doesn't matter, just want to try to be in frame. Okay, right there. Let's put that on top of it or else it'll just melt the line. It's really hot right now, so I can't show you yet how well that did, but I'm going to cut out the next interfacing. So this is the one we just did, and that's on there pretty good. I mean, if you really wanted to pry it off, you could, but it'll be fine on there. Well, it took away my texture. This vinyl had like polka dot texture on it, and that is gone. Wow. That's so weird because it didn't take away this texture. It's so weird. Well, good thing I'm putting letters on it to give it some decoration. I'm bummed. Okay. You have to wait for it to cool down a little bit before you peel it up. Okay. So I'm gonna give this the same like margin that I gave the vinyl right there. And so I should cut it, make sure it's straight and flat. So I should cut it. I'm going to start with cutting it right there in case I need to straighten it out. I won't cut it too short. Going the right way, yes. Okay, yeah. Cut up just a little bit more. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. More piece of interfacing. Okay. There's a little bit of squish right there. Okay, right there. Use my little iron so I don't heat up that vinyl again. So my husband, he has mixed feelings about me tearing stuff up like old pillowcases. And like here's the thing. It gives the pillowcase a new use. And I paid 79 cents for that pillowcase. And to buy a piece of lace like this, it would cost more than 79 cents. And the rest of the pillowcase I can still use for other projects. And who knows how long that pillowcase would have been sitting at the thrift store, waiting to be used, waiting for a new home. And I also like that sometimes, if they're vintage, you can't buy that kind of lace anymore. It's a unique style from that age, and so it gives a different feel and vibe to my project. So I'm not worried about it. Let's make sure that is it bonded? Yeah, it bonded. If I wanted, I could use a little bit of glue right here, or I can try to patch it. Do I want to try to patch it? I don't know what it looks like when it doesn't, if it peeks out. I don't know what it looks like. Like, does it just melt and it's invisible, or I don't know. How's it up here? Could use a very thin strip up there too. I'm going to have to use a lint roller when I'm done with this part to make sure I pick up all the little interfacing, because it's hard to see. It's also hard to cut. I'm having a hard time. All right. Oh, I love that. It's like simple, but awesome. So the next phase is to sew in the signatures.